work that I was able to do this summer was actually, I was awarded a $40,000 grant with the food depository to help feed youth in the city of Chicago and the South and West Sides. That was one philanthropic sector that I was able to work in. Another was that I believe it was, I can't recall, but it was also with Chicago Credit. It was another program, $15,000. It was a basketball program on the South and West Sides as well to get youth that's in gang, violence and stuff like that, to get them into programs that accelerate their growth.
Hi everyone, my name is McKenna Marshall. I'm currently an undergraduate student at the University of Toronto and an undergraduate researcher. Really happy to be around people who are doing a lot of philanthropic work. I'm more the research side, research behind that work, so thank you for calling me a leader. Right now, I'm working with the Shine Lab at University of Toronto to look into sexual health interventions for displaced youth in Uganda, so that's my big project right now. But last summer, through the Emerson Collective, I was working with the Smithsonian and with the Museum of the African Diaspora to create a learning lab or a curriculum surrounding medical racism in the United States.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacqueline Corin. I am a current junior studying government at Harvard University. My experience with the philanthropic sector is kind of twofold. So first, when I was 17 years old, I survived a shooting, a high school shooting that killed 17 people in Parkland, Florida. And after the shooting, I was a student who started the March for Our Lives movement. I don't know if you are familiar with it, but basically it's a gun violence prevention movement organization that spurred over 900 marches around the world, protesting gun violence and talking about solutions to ending gun violence in the United States and abroad. And so in that journey of going from marches to creating like a full-blown organization that is still operating today with over 20 employees, we had a lot of donor meetings, and at the time I was like only 17 and 18 years old, so I was thrown into the world of philanthropy, which was a lot. But in those meetings, I definitely learned a lot about authenticity of people in the private and public sectors. So my main point here is that if you're wanting to give money to young people can definitely sniff out authenticity. And some people were genuinely interested in what we had to offer, our stories, what we wanted to do, the policies we wanted to implement, and some were kind of just interested in the adult advisors that accompanied us and asked them all the serious questions and didn't actually take us seriously. So that's my first half, but we'll get into more of that as the panel goes on. And then my second half is joining the Emerson Collective as an intern this past summer as a political and campaign intern, and then joining the youth and community engagement team. And so I've been fortunate to have adult, leaders, organizers like Jamie, and others who are very authentic in their desire to help young people. And Emerson Collective does so much work to provide funding and also like the tools to build and engage with their communities. So yeah, I'm very blessed to be working with them and to meet all these people. So yeah, I'll pass it to Jason.
Thanks, Jacqueline. My name is Jay Surrender. I'm currently a first-year MPA student at The Ohio State University. And right now, I'm at the Emerson Collective as a youth advocate. I actually got my start with the collective in 2020, very tumultuous times, as a food task force intern with the public affairs team. So on that team, I got to identify communities where they were lacking those resources as a result of COVID-19 and really figure out how to get food to the most food insecure populations in America and figure out, how do we parlay that into something more, because we know that a lot of people that are food insecure, that's just the first half of the story, and it's a lot more going on. So I love that experience, and had the opportunity to come back as a youth advocate this past year in 2021, working with the Youth and Community Engagement team, really figuring out how we can engage and utilize youth within the best ways, and working with amazing interns as well. And I kind of got my start within philanthropy with the Knight Foundation, an organization based in Miami, Florida, a nonprofit, and I was with the Community National Initiatives team and really fell in love with the work and figuring out how to engage community members in authentic ways like we talk about. I feel like the word authentic is going to be like the key word that we keep on coming back to, because lots of times, just like the last panel did a great job explaining, within the Tulsa community, it's like, how are you going to go into that community and readily help them without just tossing money in people's ways, and figuring out how to utilize people in the best ways and create self-sufficiency. So really love that work and came back to Emerson in that capacity. But great to be here with you guys today.
All right, thanks Kamari, McKenna, Jacqueline, and Jason. There are, so 52% of the global population is under 30 years old. 1.9 billion young people between the ages of 15 and 29. 350 million out of work, out of school, unemployed, not engaged in any type of development, right, or leadership opportunity. And often, right, we as adults, I get to now call myself an adult, right?